And welcome to my channel Happy Hours. In my last video, I was discussing about the social audit, which is a mechanism of accountability. Even I discussed about some of the issues faced by the social audit. In this video, I am going to proceed further with the issues faced by the social audit. And I am giving some suggestions also to resolve the problem of social audit. We are going to share some example also. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump into the first issue, which is the lack of institutionalization. The Manrega law provides for the provision to conduct social audit and the establishment of a social audit unit which is responsible for conduct of audit. However, the law is silent on the procedure to be followed, stakeholders to be involved, and the timeline for the conduct of social audit. Lack of permanency or institutionalization may result into administrative discretion, therefore compromising on the effectiveness of the process. Then the next one is the social audit units lack independency or autonomy. There are three dimensions. First is the appointment of the director, second is the financial aspect, and the third one is the personal. They are very limited. Now let us discuss about each one by one. Now the social audit unit lacks the necessary independence because the social audit unit needs to obtain sanctions from the project implementation agency before taking up expenditure. The states do not follow necessary procedure in order to ensure political autonomy. If the social audit unit use as the position of social audit unit director generally is a political appointee. In many states, adequate staffs to cover all the panchayat to perform social audit even once a year may not be provided. Next issue is the absence of well-conceived information system. Government agencies, specifically the local level, rely on the information which may not necessarily be verified, properly stored, processed, or evenly matched. This would mean a compromise on the effectiveness of the social audit. Next is the lack of legally sanctioned outcomes. The report published by the agencies and civil society on the conduct of social audit are not binding and has no legal validity, thereby compromising on the effectiveness of the audit. Next is no incentives to the participate. There is a general lack of interest of people in the participation of the audit process as the participation depends upon the incentives provided by the government. To those who directly benefit from the Manrega law, and so much rules have been enacted for the same. For indirect beneficiaries, there is a general lack of motivation as their participation will not have any quantitative impact on their livelihood. So by this I discussed about the basic issues of the social audit unit. Now what are the steps which we can take to improve that? First is providing more finances to the social audit unit. In the year 2012, the Ministry of Rural Development has recommended 0.5% of the total Manrega budget allocation to the social audit unit for effective conduct of the social audit. Next is director and the staff selection should be free from the political control. This can be done by following Andhra Pradesh model where the social audit unit is headed by the renowned civil society worker rather than bureaucrat or even the politicians. The next suggestion is that the creation of the resource hub on social audit. There are specific agencies for giving or providing information related to the social audit. We require a pool of trained auditors who can understand the government policies and who can do audit in best way. We need agencies who can train and certify the auditors. Lastly, there is a need of research and analysis too. Training should be provided for the people, the civil society organization. We have to develop a pool of civil society organization. They work on village level. Here, those are coming as a voluntary worker they should be provided with training so they can do audit. The people who are interested, they are should given the opportunity to do the audit. Now, a resource hub should be constituted under the Ministry of Panchayati Raj and the Ministry of Rural Development to provide assistance to the state government and the social audit units on parameters like information, training support, monitoring, and evaluation, research and certification of trainers, etc. Next is the legally sanctions outcomes. And the other one is the using management information system, that is MIS. It is a system where collection, analysis, and providing data to the decision maker at the right time, in the right quality, and with the same right quantity. The information is for the auditors because we are in the era of e-governance. Information collection is a very tedious job. As we are going to the RTI, it will take at least 30 days for a information to get. So the MIS can be used as an effective tool to track details of governmental schemes at all the levels for better planning, implementation, and feedback. It also includes audit. So there is RTI, there is the less burden on it, and we can get the information in the right time and with the right quantity and quality. Now there is the next suggestion, which is the punitive actions against the non-compliance. The state government should promptly fix responsibility and take actions against those officials who are not complying with the necessary rules in the performance of social audit. This will counter the administrative discretion which compromises the effectiveness of the social audit. The next suggestion is the civil society participation. The civil society participation is required for the multiple reasons, such as civil society brings expertise on the table as the Gram Sabha members do not have. Now we can have the understanding through a organization which is SEVA. The full form of SEVA is Self-Employed Women Association. It deals with the women and the women related concern. The organization was formed in the year 1970s. Since this period, this organization is centralized to only one issue, and that is women and the women related problems. Such organization, if they are having the expertise on the issue. If suppose they are going to take part in the audit, then they are going to have the expertise, so they will be able to give the better result because they are having the understanding at the 360 degrees, and they are having means they are having complete, comprehensive, and holistic understanding. So they are going to give the true goal of the social audit, and they are going to be achieved. Now these are the true representative of the concerns of the people. The civil society also act as a true representative of the concerns of the people because they do not have any hidden agenda, and they work for the society without any profit. Now the next, since the civil society members, they are not politically influenced, they are immune from the political influence, so they can have the more effective result. Now the next we are going to discuss about the most important thing, and that is the role of media. The media is creating awareness. For example, we can understand through the programs like Pulse Polio or Jago Grahak Jago, which was for the consumer awareness. These created awareness among the people about their basic need, like the Pulse Polio, and even what are their right against the consumer problems. Now they are going to scrutinize the audit report also. The manner the audit is debated plays an important role. It provides for the wide publication of report by involvement of expertise in the scrutiny of the process. So by the scrutinizing the audit report, people are going to get more awareness. They are going to understand more in depth about what is the policy all about. By this, the media is playing another role. And the next and the last role is that they are going to act as the guardian of the public interest. That's why media is known as the fourth pillar of democracy, because they are playing an important role in creating awareness. The example is the state of Madhya Pradesh. There is the local media in the form of newspaper which is known as Nai Duniya. This newspaper was printing the audit reports, and by this they were creating the awareness for the local people. Now there was a question, and that is, if the outcome is not legally sanctioned, then what is the use of publicizing it? If the outcome is not legally sanctioned and they are getting publicized, then they are going to instigate the investigation. And by the investigation, there is a punishment to the people who are the culprits. Now, let us discuss about two states which are doing the social audit in the best practice. Means they are practicing the social audit. The first one is the Andhra Pradesh. The social audit conducted in the state of Andhra Pradesh is a role model for all other states. The audit has following innovative practice. First is conducting monthly review meetings at the district level with the district collector and the district vigilance officer. Secondly, the identification of resource persons at the village and the block level who are also beneficiaries under the scheme. Next, wall painting in all Gram Sabhas to create awareness of the social audit. And the next one is the Society for the Social Audit, Accountability and Transparency, which is SSAAT, which is an autonomous body from any political interference, set up to uphold the concept of vigilance by the people, facilitated by civil society and government acting together. Now, SSAAT is headed by the social activist. This is the organization. It facilitates the process of financing SSAAT. Now, the next example is Jharkhand. Jharkhand has adopted the jury system. Jury system was also previously also in our country from the before the year 1970. At that time, there was a judge who was who ensures the procedure is followed, and there were some jury members also. They were sitting together with the judge, and they were making the judgment, and they were making the final decision. This is the process adopted by the Jharkhand. So by this I'm going to conclude. Thank you.